The Great Bloom Trust? In the city of Omanoya, the shadows were long and the colors were quiet. Nia lived in a neighborhood where everyone worked very hard. They built tall towers and fixed shimmering pipes, but they didn't own any of it. Every coin they earned seemed to fly away like a bird to a distant cage, leaving the streets gray and the people tired. Nia watched her neighbor, Kwame, repair a massive glowing power grid. "Why do we fix things that aren't ours?" she asked. Kwame sighed, his glowing tools dimming. "Because the great graspers own the grid, Naya. We give them our labor, and they give us just enough to come back tomorrow. The wealth we create flows out of our neighborhood and into their vaults." One evening, Nia met Elder Malik under the last baobab tree. He held a holographic scroll that pulsed with golden light. "Nia," he whispered, "we are living in a system of extraction. It takes our strength and gives us nothing back. But there is another way. We can build a trust, a collective heart for our community where we own what we build." Malik explained the possibility. He called for a meeting. Another neighbor, Zola, arrived with a small pouch of spark credits. "If we pool our resources," Malik told Zola, "we don't need the graspers. We can buy the land ourselves. We can be the many who own, rather than the many who are used." Nia and Zola began the work. They didn't just build for a paycheck, they built for their future. They started with a solar well. Instead of paying a distant landlord for light, every ray of sun caught by their new panels belonged to the neighborhood. "If you build it, you own it," Nia shouted, bolting a shimmering panel into place. As the solar well grew, the trust grew too. Malik showed Nia the digital ledger. Every person who helped, whether they laid bricks or cooked meals, became a shareholder. "Ownership means sovereignty," Malik said. "It means we decide how our world looks. We aren't just workers anymore. We are the architects of our own lives." The great graspers tried to stop them. They sent their agents to claim the new machines. But Kwame stood at the edge of the district with Malik. "You cannot take what is ours," Kwame said firmly. "This infrastructure was built by our hands and paid for by our collective purse. The law of the trust is our shield." Soon, the gray began to fade. With the money saved from owning their power and water, the community built a nexus. It was a place of learning and creation. Zola taught Nia how to program the harvest drones. They were no longer working for someone else's profit. They were working for their own abundance. The vision was finally real. The neighborhood of Omanoya had transformed into a lush, Afro-futuristic paradise. Buildings were covered in vertical gardens, and clean energy hummed through the streets. "Look, Nia," Malik said, gesturing to the thriving market below. "Labor is no longer exploited here. Every drop of sweat stays in the soil of our home." Years later, Nia walked through the glowing streets, stopping by a young boy named Kofi who was fixing a public fountain. "Do you know who owns this fountain, Kofi?" she asked with a smile. Kofi looked up, his eyes bright. "We all do," he replied. Nia nodded, knowing the trust would bloom for generations to come.